Federal troops standing watch in our nation's capital.
How you guys doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Welcome to Washington, D.C. This is Union Station, the main train station. It's a staging ground and really kind of a theater for the show of force that Donald Trump has ordered the National Guard from 3 states so far, 4 more coming, all of them Republican governed. So in a sense, this is a partisan display of force. That said, not a lot of crime around here. There is crime in D.C. People are concerned about it. The question they have, is this the solution?
While we were there, security tightened.
All right, so Vice President Vance, Secretary Hegseth, Defense Secretary, they just came through here. They got an earful from the people here at the station, some protesters, some bystanders. I tried to ask them, should other American cities expect the same kind of deployment of force? No answer.
We do not have to allow our cities to be taken over by violence and by disorder and by chaos. You can actually do stuff.
Occupation is a crime!
Mr. Vice President, what city is next? What city is next?
So far, the soldiers in D.C. don't really seem to have much to do. Ordinarily, National Guard troops are barred from law enforcement activity, though the D.C. Guard is under the president's direct control. Right now in Washington, as in so many places, it's ICE that stalks and strikes without warning on the city's streets, rounding up suspected undocumented immigrants.
Wait. Brother, please, brother.
We wanted to hear from the people across this city what life is like in Washington now.
So here we are. Where are we? We're on Capitol Hill.
We are on Hill East. Technically, Capitol Hill stops at 12th Street, so this is like the east part of Capitol Hill, 3 blocks away.
How long have you lived here?
We moved here in 2010, so 15 years.
Okay. You love your neighborhood.
I do love my neighborhood, and I love my city so much. I love being able to explore it, and there's always more to see and do, and it's just like an amazing density of people and culture and excitement, but it's also just a very comfortable place to live normally.
Obviously, D.C. has a terrible crime problem. The Department of Justice statistics back it up. The FBI statistics back it up. Just talk to a resident of this city.
How's crime?
Crime is way better than it used to be. Like I think as with any city or any place, it spikes. A couple of years ago, it did spike. And there was a 7-Eleven across the street from our house that became a little bit of a focal point. And we did join like crime walks to go and make sure that like we knew what the police were doing. The police were very confidence inspiring. I felt better about our community and hearing what they're doing to track individuals who were known to have guns or known to have violent issues or know like specific hotspots. And then the crime rate went down, like way down. Apparently it's at a 30-year low now for violent crime.
And here in this neighborhood, does it feel like it's at a 30-year low? Do you feel safer?
I do, because there used to be, so you know, there's a neighborhood chat, as we all sometimes live in neighborhoods that have little active chats. And for a while, there would be like, oh, were those fireworks or gunshots?
This is back in 2023.
This was, yeah, exactly, a couple of years ago. And now, nothing. Now, like, we're back to like regular commentary. I've got something to give away. What's the parking situation? You know, there's gonna be a loud concert. Everybody watch out. Don't park near there. Like just everyday neighborhood stuff.
Back to normal.
But in Hill East, as in so many D.C. neighborhoods, there's a new normal.
Do you feel safer? Because even if you don't like them, there are more federal law enforcement and the National Guard here on the streets of D.C.?
No, I feel much less safe. Much less safe.
Why?
Because I don't know why they're here, and I know they don't know us. So like I have an 8-year-old, she's at swim camp right now. I have to go pick her up. And I know now that there is a checkpoint with an undetermined purpose that would normally be on my way home, and I have to like swerve around and make sure that I don't know what happens if I get pulled over. Like, what does that mean for me in my everyday life? What does that mean if my daughter encounters one, my 13-year-old, who, like, do I have to get her an ID? What kind of ID do you get a 13-year-old? Like, why do I have to have these thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Andrea, I can't believe that you're processing your own identity in this way.
My mom, my mom, who was born in Vietnam, and my dad, who was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, live just a few miles across the river. I go see them weekly, and sometimes they would come over here, sit on our porch, see their grandkids, and their natural habitat, do arts and crafts with them. I'm not comfortable inviting them to come over anymore because I don't know where they will encounter somebody. And they're both over 80. Like, they're not that quick on their feet if they're asked hard questions from somebody who's armed. Like, these are the thoughts that I have. And maybe for some people, it'll sound like I'm crazy. Like, what kind of world is this?
Across the city, Anacostia, one of Washington's oldest neighborhoods, a vibrant, historically black neighborhood that has faced many challenges over the years, but remains proud and resilient. For years, this neighborhood, which lies east of the Anacostia River, has had some of the highest crime rates in the city.
Do you feel that?
Yes. If you live here, if you're a part of this, particularly if you're a senior, I'm a senior, you don't feel safe all the time. You know, you have to watch where you go. There's one of my favorite things is that I avoid certain areas and take a longer trip home just not to go through certain areas. Because not that I fear the area itself, but if somebody's shooting and the bullets go somewhere, I don't want to be a victim of some accidental shooting, which is a lot of the heinous crimes here are people who are not even involved with the situation, but they get caught up in it. And
Just
somehow.
random gunfire.
Yes.
Bystanders.
Yeah.
You know, there are people who are saying, right now, crime is way down in Washington, D.C. We don't need these troops. Crime is down. When you hear people saying that, how do you feel?
It's false. And while it might be reduced in some way, as not as bad as last year, for the people who are victims, particularly people living east of the river, they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe in their neighborhood, and I think they deserve to feel safe as well.
So you don't agree with that, then?
No, I really don't. I really don't. Because crime is a problem east of the river, period. Point blank, foot stop.
So President Trump cares about crime, he says, in Washington, D.C., and he sends in the National Guard, and there's more troops coming. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that's just part of kabuki theater. The ability to act as though you're doing something or really not doing something. No, don't get me wrong. Did we need additional forces, DEA and FBI, to maybe lock up people who had outstanding gun warrants and gun charges? Absolutely. East of the river, we want those people caught, locked up, and prosecuted. But I think the whole showboat with the National Guard is just a part of a larger plan to sort of kind of maybe take over the city and run the city in some other way. And I think the whole purpose here is that because this is a majority black and brown city, that they can be a little more heavy-handed than maybe they might be if it wasn't.
And Lamont sees one type of federal crime that is not part of President Trump's D.C. crackdown.
We don't sell guns in Washington. So if a 15-year-old is getting a gun, somebody had to sell them that gun or give them that gun.
Where's that gun come from?
Where does it come from? And most likely it's coming from rich states with these gun show laws, yard sales or whatever they call them, flea markets where you can go in and buy a gun, you don't have to show no ID, and they're coming back up here and they're selling the guns. Well, we need the ATF to track that because there's a lot of guns getting to 15, 16-year-old in this city from somewhere.
And you say red states, you're talking about Virginia, West
North
Virginia,
Carolina,
North Carolina.
West Virginia, Georgia. As far as Georgia, and everybody knows that that's what's happening because they don't make guns here, they don't sell guns here. So they have to come here. So this is the federal offense. So I think we need to really look at that as a part of the approach.
Federal law enforcement intervening and stopping the flow of guns.
Yes.
Across state lines.
It's critical that happens.
Yeah.
It's critical.
So we're on 14th Street right now, heading towards U Street Northwest. This is one of the centers of Washington nightlife. It's also become, in recent days, a scene of confrontation as federal law enforcement is making arrests, especially along U Street, and young people, maybe out for a night of fun, find themselves joining a protest.
Say it loud and say it clear. Say it loud and say it clear. Donald Trump ain't welcome here. Donald Trump ain't welcome here. Say it loud and say it clear. Say it loud and say it clear. Donald Trump ain't welcome here. Donald Trump ain't welcome here. Get off our street. Get off our street. Get off our street. Get off our street. Get off our street.
Some things haven't changed. The Mount Pleasant neighborhood in Northwest D.C. remains one of the most diverse, culturally vital, and friendliest parts of the city.
And is it true that you kind of earned yourself the reputation of the mayor of Mount Pleasant?
But that was something that the city paper, Washington
Right, I
City
remember
paper,
they wrote about you.
Yes, yeah, and they, you know, it was a surprise to me, you know. You know, like mayor is a very big, it's a very heavy word, you know. And I'm like, you know, why? But I could also understand.
You're bringing people together.
Yes.
Frank Agbro has lived here in Mount Pleasant for more than 30 years. Musician, producer, radio host, event organizer, he serves this community and the city in many ways.
All right, so here we are on this beautiful street. It's nice and quiet. In this city, in your city, troops, federal law enforcement on the ground. Does it feel different at all?
It feels very different.
How so?
You know, I'll say I've been living in Mount Pleasant we've been living in Mount Pleasant for about 30, I would say going on 36 years or something like that, you know. I have never seen it like this.
How so? Well, what is different?
It's deserted.
For decades, Mount Pleasant has been one of the hubs of the city's Latino population, many from El Salvador.
Do you know if a lot of the people here are here undocumented?
That I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but at the same time, what I would say is that I don't see a lot of Latinos much anymore during the daytime.
The Latinos
Yeah.
laying low.
Yeah, and laying low, and to me, that could be a number of things, right? It could be, well, you know, I'm trying to get my papers, but I'm not there yet, you know what I mean? Or it could be they don't have any papers, okay? And it could be I don't want to get caught in the web.
So walking up the street here before we met, when I was walking up the street, just around the corner, there's a woman, she was talking to a couple of guys who were working. She said, be careful. They were Latino guys. She said, be careful because she's seen arrests.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying. There's anxiety, there's nervousness, you know, there's, when I say uncertainty, I think that affects everybody. There's a lot of uncertainty right now in the air.
And on behalf of the Agbro family, we're honored to have this presentation during these pandemic times.
During the pandemic, Frank staged concerts and open mic performances on his porch. It's the kind of thing he does for his community, for his country.
You were born in Nigeria.
Yes.
You came to the United States as a teenager?
As a teenager, yes.
Okay. And you're a citizen?
I'm a citizen.
Your wife is German?
Mm-hmm.
She's a citizen?
Mm-hmm.
Frank, do you worry?
About?
Your situation. I mean, not because you're an American citizen, you're as American as apple pie. In fact, you're an all-American couple in many ways. But here we are in a time when certain people get stopped, certain people don't get stopped. You know what I mean?
What I'll say about that is, I have two minds about that. What I mean by that is, like, I lived in France for like 4.5 years, right? And so when I was in Paris, the gendarme would just stop you randomly, and they picked and choose who they would stop and ask you for your carte d'identité, your ID card, okay? In Africa, you have like military guys, you know, on the streets with everybody else all the time.
And we've never had that here.
We've never, but that's what I'm saying, like for me, it's something that somehow you get accustomed to it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we should, but for me in America, it's a different ball game. I never anticipated I would see, because that's why a lot of people come to America, is not to have that. You know, we all come to this country for a reason, you know, with freedom, the ability to just be ourselves and to use our best talents to the best of our abilities. This country provides that.
That's why people come.
That's why people come. And it's like the beacon of the world, I would say. You know, I mean, even though things may be bad, and things are bad still now, I still think that like it's still the best place in the world to live.
You love this country.
I love this country, and that's what I do.
Up the street, a Mount Pleasant landmark, the Don Juan restaurant.
How long have you been in the United States?
1980, so it was
45 years.
45 years, yeah. Wow. I was a kid.
Yeah, you were a kid.
Yeah.
And this is your restaurant?
Yeah, this is my restaurant.
Has your business been affected by all the troops, all the ICE police all over?
Yeah, part for the ICE, because a lot of people was scared.
They're scared?
Yeah, scared about situation, you know. I don't know how they, I don't know how if they are legal or not, but a lot of people trying to not don't come in the restaurant. But yeah, we lose a lot of business, at least 50%.
50% of your business here?
Yes, at least.
People just aren't coming?
Nope.
They're afraid?
I think they're afraid.
When Alberto came to the United States, he came without a visa or other authorization. He is now a U.S. citizen, thanks in part to the 1986 law granting amnesty to 3 million undocumented people.
When you see on your phone the ICE snatching people off the street and people screaming and crying.
I was crying too.
You were crying.
I don't like that because I remember when I come into this country, I come in the same way. But I come in to get a better opportunity. And step by step, I legalize my life, my family, I get married, I have my boys. They grown up, they born here in this country, they're all citizens. But that not tell me forgot all the immigrant. I was immigrant. And I don't have no paper when I come into this country. But little by little, you know, I get in everything, thank you God.
35 years you've had this business.
Yeah.
So your story is like an American success story, right?
Yeah, because I never ask nothing for nobody. I just come up to work to live myself. I never be wait for president for United States. Right. I never ask for nothing.
You just work. So Alberto, I got to ask you, when you see these guys getting snatched by ICE, and they're crying and they're saying, I just want to work, how do you feel?
I cry too. I don't like it what they do. Because the guy say, please, I'm a worker, I'm a criminal, let me alone. I want to live with my family. Please, I don't do nothing bad. And nobody listen to him. And I feel bad because I feel like it was me in the past. They never do this to me, but I feeling what happened they're doing to me. And you know, for me, government and law gotta respect. You know, the people are workers, they gotta live alone.
Games, right? We're not playing games. We're gonna make it safe. And we're gonna then go on to other places.
Life in Washington, D.C. right now is both a political performance and a very human set of new problems, new fears, new challenges.
Just talk to a resident of this city.
All right, I'm going to give you a hypothetical here. I'm going to put you in the Oval Office, sitting across from Donald Trump.
Okay.
And he's got these ideas about D.C., and he's sent these troops in and the rest.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to him?
I would say, don't mess with my family. Leave me with my freedom.
You feel your freedom is at stake.
I mean, how would you define freedom? Like for me, freedom is being able to make choices about my own family and being able to go about my everyday business the way that I feel is right. And I don't feel that anymore. I can't go about my everyday business. I'm replanning routes home around checkpoints. I'm scared all the time. More scared of crime.
Just talk to a resident of this city.
It makes me sad, and you know, it makes me think like, you know, whether I really want to be here with so many places in the world to live. Do you really want to be, is this the time to be in Washington or to be in Trump's Washington?
And that makes you think, because you're a world traveler, maybe there's a better place to live?
I often think that.
Really?
I often think that.
You might do that.
I might. I've made some provisions or looked into some things, but we'll see what happens. You know, but I love my city. I love my city. I've traveled to 75 countries around the world and never lived anywhere but Washington. And I don't think I have to give my city up for one movement, one person. But, you know, we'll see.
Just talk to a resident of this city.
They're still paying
But
taxes.
they still pay taxes, they're fine. This country will be more rich every day. But they don't see it that way.
No.
I mean, like I say, and I repeat many times you want it. If they come in to pick it up, criminal, drug deal, terrorists, gangas, it's fine. But don't come in to get in workers, people from family, they're waiting for you in your house. You come in with the money to pay your milk, your stuff, and they catch you on the streets, man. I'm not with that. So I always with immigrant workers' size.
Just talk to a resident of this city.
So that's the question. I mean, it feels like there are a lot of people in the country who are depressed. They're frightened. They're just poleaxed by what's happening politically, and they don't know which way to turn. It feels to me like you've got more confidence in how things are going. Maybe.
I think. You know, one thing. I have confidence in the American people. I just do. I don't know why. That's just what I think. Maybe I'm just like a blind optimist. But
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.